What's up guys, it's Light Spiral here with the Hall of Light B6 Farmable Team video. So for those of you guys who haven't ever seen any of the Farmable Team videos on this channel before, basically what I'm going to do is go over all 5 units, how to get them, why they're or what their purpose is in the team, as well as their replacements that you could get, and some kind of like tactics to beat each dungeon. So I'll just start out now. The first unit we have is Susanoo, the Water Ninja. This is a natural 4. You can get it from Fusion. The next unit we have is a natural 2-star Shannon, the Wind Pixie. All natural 2-stars you can get from Unknown Scrolls and the shop. And then on top of that, every natural 2-star can be obtained from either a secret dungeon or one of the scenarios. So Shannon, the Wind Pixie in specific, I don't know whether it's a scenario or a secret dungeon, but she can be obtained from one of the two. Colleen is also a natural 2-star, so the way to get her, same way as Shannon, Unknown Scrolls, shop, and I don't remember if it's a secret dungeon or a scenario battle. And then Rama goes, the Wind Warbear, another natural 2-star. Same thing goes for him as goes for the other two natural 2-stars, Unknown Scrolls, shop, or I actually know Ramagos is from a scenario battle. I don't remember which one though. And then the last unit I have is Darien, the Light Vagabond. It's a natural 3-star that has a secret dungeon. So that's that. Now I'll go through how to get these units. I already went through how to get these units. I'll go through the purpose in the teams. Susanoo, the Water Ninja, is in here just for damage. The only reason I have him in here instead of something like Rayoke or Lapis or Seek, the normal damage dealers that I have for farmable team videos, is I just put Susanoo in here just to make it look different, really. I just felt like using something different. Any damage dealer of any element is going to work fine here. Preferably a damage dealer that does continuous damage on one of its skills. That's why I picked Susanoo's, because his first skill does continuous damage. And the reason why you want continuous damage is because the Hall of Light has a ability that you can't you can't disable, like there's no way to disable the ability, where it gets an extra 500% defense, which means that it has a ton of defense basically. So the fastest way to kill this boss is to first ignore defense, and second, continuous damage. So continuous damage or bombs. The reason why continuous damage works is because continuous damage ignores defense, bombs ignore defense, and ignore defense skills obviously ignore defense. So just to reiterate what I said earlier, Susanoo replacements, any damage dealer you have, preferably one that ignores defense, puts on bombs, or does continuous damage. Shannon, the Wind Pixie, is in here mainly for one reason, but the other two skills she has is just like extra bonus. She's mainly in here for the AoE speed debuff to make it so the left crystal, which does the speed buff, or the defense buff, sorry, doesn't get as many turns. The other skill she has, the AoE defense buff, is really nice, and the single target glance on the boss is going to be really nice. But mainly I have her in here for the AoE speed debuff, so replacements, anyone that does an AoE speed debuff, so Spectra, the Fire Griffin, does that. I don't know how many of you guys have the Dark Serpent, Mantora, I know he does that. There's a ton of AoE speed debuffers, I'm not going to list all of them. The next unit I have is Colleen, the Fire Harpoo. She's in here for a handful of reasons, or 3 reasons. First skill attack debuff, weaken attack, whatever you want to call it. Very useful to make it so you can stay alive long enough to finish this fight. And then that's helpful, but the main reason she's in here is because she heals, and full team heal to be specific. Full team heal and an attack buff, because like I've said, this dungeon is extremely tanky, so anything that can help you finish it quicker is definitely going to be appreciated. So replacements for Colleen. In reality, anyone that heals is a replacement for Colleen. Let me be specific. Anyone that does a full team heal is going to be a fine replacement for Colleen. Attack buff is obviously appreciated if you're not using any other attack buffer. Weaken attack on the boss is going to be nice, but it's not absolutely necessary. Next unit I have, Rama. The reason he's in here is honestly nothing special. There's one real reason he's in here, and that was just to show you guys that his skill, which I don't think he actually got to use during that fight, does ignore defense, his third skill. So if you do not have a damage dealers like Susanoo, or if you don't have one that can stay alive long enough in B6, Rama is a really good option, because if you just build him triple energy with HP on slots 2, 4, and 6, he'll be tanky enough to survive the dungeon, and he will also be able to do damage, significant damage on the boss, considering he ignores defense on his third skill. So replacements for him is any damage dealer. He's really just in here for damage. It could be ignore defense damage, it could be regular damage, just whatever you really want. The last unit I have is Darien, the Light Vagabond. Why he's in here is really just for one reason, and sorry, let me just remove that notification, and that is he has a first skill, defense break. Like I've said a couple of times, the most annoying thing about this dungeon is how tanky it is. How tanky it is could be a big reason you get killed, because as you guys already know, the longer you're in a fight, the longer the boss has to kill you. Obviously the reverse of that is the longer you have to kill the boss, but your objective is always to kill the boss as fast as possible. So if you make the fight take 5 minutes, the boss has a lot more chances to kill you than if you made the fight take 3 minutes. So defense break is going to have the boss's defense, therefore it's going to double your damage. It's not going to double your ignore defense damage though. And then his passive really just helps your team survive, and his second skill weakens attack. So if you didn't have Colleen, you could use that to weaken attack. So replacements for Darien, honestly, anyone that does a defense break with a 100% chance. I'm not going to say it has to be a first skill defense break. Obviously first skill is preferred, because then if you don't land it, then next turn you can try and land it again. And my reflector crashed, but that was kind of all I had for the video anyways, guys. Be sure to tell me in the comments if there's any other dungeons you're having trouble clearing, and I'll try my best to make a video on it as soon as possible. And that's all I have for today though, guys, so may the best year today's be the worst year tomorrow.